The late Kobe Bryant, the great Kobe Bryant, reportedly, according to Carmelo Anthony, has told the story recently, could not stand JJ Redick. Couldn't stand him. Kobe said he got on his nerves when they were on the USA team together. Got on his nerves. And maybe Kobe was right. A Black woman has now accused JJ Redick of calling her a slur while at Duke University. Here we go. Author and motivational speaker Aliya Nash has accused newly appointed Lakers coach JJ Redick calling her the N-word while the two both attended Duke University many years ago. Redick, the new coach with no coaching experience. Well, I'm talking even Pee-wee, in the Pee-wee league. He did zero coaching experience, but he did do a podcast with LeBron. So maybe he'll be best to coach LeBron and Bronny. Nash wrote on X, I've only been called the N-word to my face by a white man once in my life, and it was on the campus of Duke University while I was doing work with the basketball team. And today he was named the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. What a world. Okay, so this is, I think her statement's perfect. And nobody's come forward and said it's not credible either. Nash would go on to say, for context, this was years ago, and I'm a believer that we all have space to grow, especially from our college level maturity. We live in a world where these exchanges happen and the interaction of race and privilege and lack of accountability all collided with that presser. Bingo. Another Duke alum, data scientist Lorenzo Ferrari, responded to Nash's allegations and Redick's denial, posting, I had many encounters with JJ Redick back in college. I totally could see a situation in which he used the N-word. I don't think it's that much of a story 20 years later, but if he tries to pull on the, I've never said that word in my life card, I will call shenanigans. See, when perhaps, we don't know, okay, but these seem like credible people. Now classmates backing her up when people step forward, and perhaps you've not been called on anything, you've not faced consequences in the past. Maybe, how can you evolve if you haven't really faced consequences? Now you've gotten a job that some would argue you didn't earn. Ferrari would clarify on his interactions with Redick on campus. Okay. See it there. Yes, we took a number of classes together. I had all positive interactions with him, but he was known to be a bit of I'll say jerk, but there's another word. Response from Redick's spokesperson, TMZ Sports, with the credit here. They reached out to Redick's camp for a response to the claim, and they completely shut it down. No, never happened. Spokesperson tells TMZ Sports. They kept it short. Ironically, in the Hulu series Clip, the show inspired by true events, JJ Redick is featured as a character who at times teased at, but refused to say the N-word. Past controversies involving Redick back in 2018. During a video where NBA players were wishing China a happy new year, Redick appeared to use a slur saying, I want to wish all the NBA, begins with a C, ends with a K, fans in China a happy new year. Following the outrage, Redick would post online saying, just saw a video that is being circulated of me wishing a happy new year to NBA fans in China. Clearly it was tongue-tied, as the word I purportedly said is not in my vocabulary. I'm disappointed that anyone would think I used that word. I love and respect our friends in China. This is so typical of people who do this stuff. I didn't do it. And by the way, how dare you? We'll flip the script. How dare you do to accuse me of such? This is right there, JJ. Abortion contract accusation. Following his first season in the NBA, JJ Redick allegedly entered into an abortion contract with a former girlfriend, Vanessa Lopez, after they broke up, according to Media Takeout. Website published a 2007 document. Indicates Lopez was pregnant at the time, had agreed to end the pregnancy and provide proof of the abortion. She would then try to maintain a social relationship for one another. Another year. Lopez gained notoriety in 2010, suing Shaquille O'Neal for allegedly harassing her after she broke off their sexual relationship. HuffPost with the details. Redick took to Twitter 2013, vehemently denying that Lopez ever carried a child conceived with him, and that Lopez never terminated the pregnancy of a child fathered by him. However, he did not deny the existence of such a contract or address the possibility that Lopez was perhaps pregnant with someone else's child. This guy is, wasn't me, wasn't there, didn't do it, didn't say it. How dare you? Wasn't me. Lopez would leak an alleged email to gossip sites that was allegedly sent to her by Redick to his lawyer about the contract, which Redick allegedly writes that his brother-in-law called Lopez a dirty N-word in a voicemail, and that Redick referred to Lopez using a racial slur aimed at Hispanics. Email has not been fully verified to be real, but here it is. Wow. I wasn't there, Yasmin. But I'm just telling you what Carmelo Anthony said, his good friend, dearly departed, Kobe Bryant, said and felt about JJ Redick. He didn't trust him. I wasn't there, but there's a number of people coming forward saying this guy is a first-class jerk. You have the situation with the China fans. You have the black woman at Duke, another classmate backing it up, talking about his temperament and he's kind of just, not a great guy, used another name for it. Wasn't me, wasn't there, didn't do it, not who I am, not in my vocabulary. I'm perfect. I have no coaching experience, but I've signed a multi-year deal to be the coach of the Lakers. And I'm going to check with LeBron about calling the plays. Maybe I just don't like the guy. I don't know. Am I being unfair?
I don't know, because it's a lot of, people can say that he said this and then he can say that he didn't. I am just now learning about JJ Redick for the first time today as of reading this story. I can't comment on his career or how much of a jerk he's been in the past, apart from everything that you just very nicely laid out for me and for our audience. But it kind of sucks because people can still get good jobs even if they're terrible people, and that is a reality of the world that we live in today. But as far as for the woman who claims that he called her the N-word to her face, right? Again, we don't know if that's true, but it is kind of interesting to think about people who are wronged, let's say, by people who are in the public space, right? And then they have to kind of see these people who have treated them so poorly, winning at life and, getting promoted, becoming, the coach of the LA Lakers. That's a big deal. Even I know that, So I don't know what's going to come from this. I don't imagine that he'll lose his job over something like this, over these allegations that, again, can't be proven. But hopefully he's just nicer to people going forward. And also, I don't understand how you could be racist when you work in the NBA. It's ridiculous.
You would think.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, but I think it's rich in America that the people who point the finger and say, you did this to me, they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But all JJ has to say is, I didn't do that. Wasn't me. Can I get that job and the millions of dollars that go with it? I thought this was kind of baller, actually, in his press conference saying, I have zero experience.
Can I do it? I'll take the millions of dollars.
We could do it. So for you to say, I don't know much about it. Yasmin, you don't need to. So you and I could probably take over the team. I'm not going to put up with any of this where the players won't go in when I tell them to go in.
This guy just has none of it. None of it. Amazing. How aspirational.
He did a podcast. He trashed the previous coach that got ousted. If I'm the coach,
does that make us eligible to be president? Because we talk a lot of trash about politicians. So,
hey,
maybe that's
this guy is something else. And I blame Stephen A., who he seemed to get on Stephen A. Stephen A.'s got a big mouth. And when they would fight on ESPN, I said, Stephen A.'s probably, I think I like him. But I don't like him. I don't know him. But I've decided he's not, I could just, listen, it's a blessing and a curse. I have this thing where I can kind of say, this person's decent, human. This person means it's no good. Maybe that's wrong. I admit it's not foolproof, but it's certainly, I'm not really wrong about people a lot of times, Yasmin.
Look, if it's working for you, Sharon, then I think
I got a bubble around me. Or like I said, I'm going to put some garlic around my neck and keep these people away. I don't want anything to do with them, period. Yeah. Now, if the Lakers start winning and somebody gives me free tickets, I'll go to the game, okay? Because I am fair weather. But in the meantime, I root against you.
What they say about all Lakers fans, though, is that they're very fair weather.
Of course they are. They got the beach. They got a lot of stuff going on there. Red carpets.
I live in Houston, and I think Houston is like the most fair weather sports of everywhere.
Well, hey. And listen, the Kardashians would do the same thing. You think they're going to be sitting in the front row if the Lakers losing?
When Khloe was dating James Harden on the Rockets, it was a disaster. He not wait for that to be over. Yeah.
Lamar Odom. There's a lot of stuff went down. Then you got, what is it, Kendall?